Hi, hello. Welcome to Now We've Said It, a brand new audio slash visual podcast. Today I have my boyfriend Mike here, and we are going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and New York. So, y'all, before we get into it, we have some wine here. We're going to break it open, talk about it, get into the recap. So, the wine that we have here, Mike actually picked this out months ago, because we were supposed to start this months ago, but that's another story for another day. So Mike picked out this wine, so do you want to talk about it a little bit and why you picked it out?
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what to talk about it. I picked it out entirely based on the label because it was a map, and I like pirates.
So here's what the label looks
Pirates
like.
use maps.
For those of you that are only listening to this, it is a beautiful bottle. It does have a map on it, and the name of the wine is Silk and Spice, and is a 2017 Portugal Red Blend. So we're going to pour it up, and look at this cute little wine stopper for those of you that can't see. So Mike made this wine stopper himself. They are super nice.
It's supposed to be an apple, I guess.
Look how nice that is. So if you want one, you can purchase them from him. I will put his Etsy shop in the description box down below, and it'll also be on the details page of your Apple, iTunes, Android, whatever you listen to in your podcast. All the links will be in the notes provided if you guys want to pick up one of these wine stoppers for yourself. Or you can get, if he can make it, you can get a specialty one. So we're going to pour the wine now. I'm going to see if I can read a little bit about this wine before we get started. So just to give you guys a little bit more information, just in case you're interested in this wine. So this wine is described as a ruby-colored red wine blend characterized by intense aromas of ripe and red black fruit, such as blackberries and ripe plum. A spicy character evokes vanilla, black pepper, pink peppercorn combined with hints of mocha. It is full-bodied with a balanced taste, very soft tannins, and a long and balanced finish. So I'm going to try this. It sounds like something I would really like, so let's give this a try.
It has an intense aroma.
I don't think it smells very intense. It smells good.
I know, I was just reading the description. I didn't make wine face.
I really like this. This is very, very good. I'm very impressed.
I know what I'm doing.
Okay. So we're going to get ready and get into these recaps.
Should we describe why it's surprising that I picked out a good one?
Okay, you guys. So Mike does not drink wine. When we first got together, I feel like he only drank wine to impress me.
Yes.
And now the lust, the butterflies are gone, and he came true. He came clean, and he admitted to me he don't give a fuck about wine. And in fact, he hates it.
I do give a fuck about wine. It's just the opposite of how you do. Like, I adamantly loathe wine. It's disgusting.
So he hates it. He makes this thing called wine face, and hopefully you guys will get to see that soon. But there was no wine face today, so there is no wine face to be seen because this wine is good.
Wine face is essentially bitter beer face. I'm not doing it on purpose. I can't control it.
He can't. He just like scrunches up his face, so he can't even fake a wine face for you guys. But this wine is delicious. I'm definitely gonna repurchase this.
It is very okay.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all, also before we get into this, I do want to let you guys know that this is Mike's first time watching any Housewives ever. So before we get into this, I just want to ask you, what were your first impressions of the Housewives? Just overall, in general, the franchise, the show, what do you think about it?
I see the entertainment appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I see why it's entertaining. Overall, it makes me very sad.
Like most people, a lot of us like to watch the Housewives. I'm going to say this, when I first started watching Housewives, I watched it as an intro. I wanted to peek behind the curtains of the rich and the famous, or the rich. They weren't necessarily famous when we first started, but y'all know now that there are now some of them to the Bravo universe, us. They are household names, but to a lot of people, I just kind of wanted to know what it was like, how rich people live their lives and stuff, and it gave us a really good window into that.
I would like to say that I do not think this is a good representation of rich people. I don't think all rich people are this batshit crazy. I think these are crazy people who wanted to be on TV.
I agree with that too. They say, you have people that are just happy with being rich, and then you have people that want to be rich and famous, and that is definitely the case with Housewives. So we're going to go ahead and start off with New York. Mike also got very lucky. He got 2 really good episodes. Y'all know Beverly Hills is not always bringing the drama, but he got in on a really good episode of Beverly Hills. But we're going to go ahead and start off with New York. So the episode that we're watching is season 12, episode 16, and it is called Not Very Mariachi. Not Very Mariachi. That's a cute name. So this episode takes place after Ramona's 63rd birthday party, where she's like all embarrassed and stuff about Leah and somewhat Sonia's behavior, but she really only talks about Leah's behavior. The episode starts off with Luann. She is organizing a spa day for the women at the Fortune Society. So she's setting up, getting them makeovers, which I think is a really sweet gesture. I'm really proud of Luann for, stepping up her community service game. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the earlier seasons of New York, Luann...
Community service?
Luann tried to do community service, and she went down to the neighborhood, and she told this little black girl, and to her face, this was Countess Luann. Y'all remember Countess. This was when she was still a countess. She went down to, they were having some sort of, community service event or whatever, and the little kids, she was asking them what do they want to be, and all the other kind of stuff, and she was a little chubby, but she was young, and Luann said, what do you want to be? She goes, oh, I want to be a model, and Luann looked this little girl right in the face and said, oh, well, you have to lose a little bit of weight first, but it's definitely like in your future, or whatever she said. It was very much like, why are you saying this to this little girl? Build her up, give her the potential, so we can definitely see a little bit of...
Well, what kind of model she want to be? You could be on Instagram and be thick as hell.
There was no Instagram back then. This was before
I thought
Instagram.
You were talking about, she said this recently.
No, this was before Instagram. This is, like I said, when she was a countess, years ago. This spa day for these ladies, and Ramona comes in, and... I did not know this at the time, and maybe I forgot it, but Leah reveals that Ramona asked everybody at the party to donate $100 to her birthday so that she could get a designer bag. I mean, bitch. Ramona is a trip. I was shocked. You know what? I would like to say I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked because that is typical Ramona behavior.
I want to say this woman is, like, gross, personality-wise, but... When you told me she was in her 60s, what the hell?
She doesn't look it.
No, like I'll that is the one nice thing I will say about her. She is very lucky.
True Renewal, or wherever the hell her beauty line is. Ramona has her own line of skincare, and True Renewal, I believe. And Ramona looks good. She's a great looking 63-year-old. She looks fabulous. No,
I think
no shade.
The level of anxiety in her body and the high stress is just keeping everything tense and tight.
Yeah, y'all. He got to see Ramona eyes.
It's not that. I don't think her beauty's going to help it. You got to have like some crazy behind you to keep your cells tight.
Yeah. He got to see the crazy Ramona eyes that we all know and love.
She's a very intense woman.
She is very intense. And then we also see, so Ramona also comes to the spa day. Ramona, Leah, Sonia, and Dorinda all show up to support support Luann for the spa day, which I thought was really sweet. So Ramona gets there, and she says, I think she's talking to Luann, and she's talking about how embarrassed she is, by Sonia and Leah's behavior at the party. Here's my thing. I feel like she should have been more upset. I know you didn't see this episode, but I think Ramona should have been more upset with Sonia's behavior than Leah's. All Leah was doing was dancing. And
I don't need to see more.
Yeah.
There's enough info in that episode.
Oh, yeah. To
see that there's a massive double standard and future behavior in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Right. So Ramona's saying how she's like disappointed, and specifically Leah, but she did, touch on Sonia a little bit. You get Ramona playing both sides of the table. Is she upset with Sonia and Leah? Well, I think she's jealous of Leah, clearly, like Dorinda was saying. Leah's young, she's thin. I just feel like, and then the thing about it, Ramona and Leah kind of had this mother-daughter relationship kind of earlier in the season. I think Ramona is just like completely done with Leah because, Leah likes to act up a little bit when she has a few drinks, but they all do. So I don't really see why Ramona is singling Leah out and not really going in on Sonia just as hard as she's going in on Leah. So then Dorinda comes into the spa day, y'all, and she's whipping out her foot in front of everybody at the spa day to show that she got glass in her foot from when Sonia was dancing on the ottoman or wherever Sonia was dancing on, and she was stepping on that glass thing and she broke it. Sonia was acting a complete fool. Now we know Sonia likes to act up, y'all, but the thing about it is with New York, they like when Sonia is contained to their group, but when they're out in public, they don't like Sonia to act like that. And Sonia was acting a complete ass of herself at that party. She acted way worse than Leah did, and it's just crazy that Ramona is not like getting on Sonia for her behavior instead of she's like focusing on Leah.
I am on Leah's side here. There's definitely some people, or not people, but there's definitely animosity there.
Yeah.
But property damage is one thing. If she was at her birthday party with little kids there and she had her
there weren't kids there.
She said her daughter was there.
Her daughter's 20.
Oh, then none of this matters.
She graduated college.
None of this matters.
Her daughter's grown.
I keep forgetting she's in her 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just trying to make excuses. Oh, my daughter was there. Yeah, girl, your daughter's like drinking age. She's legal. Who cares? I'm sure your daughter's seeing way worse at those bougie ass colleges that she went to. That bougie ass college or wherever. I'm sure it was like some sort of private school or whatever. You know how they get down. I mean, I've heard things. So yeah, Dorinda's like whipping out her foot, which is very disgusting. It's gross. And then so Leah basically is saying that Ramona is a terrible person to her face. Ramona is trying to vent to Sonia somewhat, like I guess trying to have like a private conversation. And Leah is sending her face. She's like, Ramona is terrible. She's an evil person. Ramona is literally just, yeah, so like Sonia, yeah, like this is what I'm saying. Like, you know how I feel. Like, yeah, totally ignoring Leah, which is, you know, typical Ramona. She loves to ignore. She's really good at it.
It was a very strange scene.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's common, but that was very... To have somebody screaming in your face and you just pretend they're not there.
Yeah,
is very
it's
strange
typical Ramona behavior.
I don't know how you... Like, I would lose my temper. I don't know how people don't do that.
She loves to ignore. She's the queen of ignoring, and she's very good at it. And we also see, I didn't see this during the last episode, but they did a flashback, which I actually appreciate the flashbacks. Ramona's sister was telling Leah that she's cheapening the group, which is like, baby, no. And then Leah was like, oh yeah, her sister said I cheapen the group, but in real life, I elevate that shit, which I agree. Leah has been such a breath of fresh air this season, especially after losing Bethany and Tinsley this season. It's just, we need Leah to really listen, we really don't need anybody new in New York, really. If you just keep it Sonia, Ramona, Luann, Dorinda, like, they're gonna show up and show out. But I will say I really appreciate Leah, and I actually really like her on the show. I think she does need a younger housewife to kind of have fun with and bounce off of. I feel like she's just trying to hang in there with these older women, and there's no real connection there. Ever since Tinsley left, it's just like not... She's too young and hip and cute to be like trying to be like getting in these older women's good graces. How do you feel about Leah in comparison to the rest of the group?
She seems just more fun to me. I mean, I didn't see enough of her personality, really, to... She didn't do anything wrong in that episode. Everybody else did weird shit. She was just normal. I don't know if that's a good description. No, I know, normal, and as far as these ladies go, she was normal. Then we see... They show the transformations of the makeovers. All the makeovers look really nice except for Kendall. We get this one lady named Kendall. She came in wearing this bob red wig, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. When I looked at her before and after, I'm gonna tell y'all the differences that I spotted. They bumped and re-flattened out her wig. They bumped the wig, re-flattened it. They didn't even change her eye makeup. They changed her lipstick. It's like, y'all could have at least did a different eye look on her. It looked a little bit better blended. Yeah, like That's it. The absolute least. I feel like they did everybody else first and they ran out of time and they were like trying to rush. I feel like she didn't want them to do much. I feel like she probably liked the way she was and she just said don't do much. Maybe. I don't know. Depends. I'm making this up. Or maybe I don't know. She probably said like, oh, don't take my wig off. She probably did say that. I'll give her that. Maybe she did. Well, we don't know. That's just my theory. Yeah, maybe she did say don't take my wig off. Maybe she was embarrassed or something. But I would have listen, take my wig off, do whatever. The one girl where she had on the wig and then they just completely took her wig off and cut her hair. The young girl, she was super cute. Like they made her look really nice. She was definitely the best of the glow ups in my opinion.
But kudos to Luann for putting that together. That was super sweet. So then we cut to a scene where we find out that Sonia, her clothing line, Sonia Morgan, I don't even know the official name. I think it's called just like Sonia Morgan Collection. Anyway, we found out her clothing line, her collection is being featured in Century 21. And I was telling Mike about this earlier. I thought Century 21 was like elder insurance. Or
I didn't know what it was, but I didn't think it was clothing.
Or I thought it was like related to housing, like some sort of like housing support or something. I didn't know Century 21 was actually a clothing store. I am super shocked, but Sonia got her clothes into Century 21. She got it in 2 stores, her whole collection. She was even surprised that the whole collection got in there. She was like, I didn't even think I had enough stuff. We're just like, Sonia, you're supposed to know this.
Yeah. How do you run a company and not know how much?
She was like, I didn't even know I had that much stuff. Girl, how did you not know that, baby? It is your... But that's the thing. People just putting their names on stuff. And just
I think at a certain point, she's so rich that she just hires somebody to do her job, and then she just keeps taking off top.
Here's the thing, though. Is Sonia rich? It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle and cash. We don't know how rich Sonia is or is not. Sometimes she seems like the brokest one, and then sometimes she seems like the richest one. It's all a mystery. It's smoke and mirrors with Sonia, but I love her. She's a hot mess, and that's just how it is. I do agree.
She's a mess.
Yeah, she is a mess. I do agree. Of course, I listen to a lot of other Bravo recap podcasts, and I do agree with everybody else. Sonia has definitely been drinking a lot more this season than usual, which is... It's a little depressing to see. I feel like Sonia feels like she has to be the drunk mess clown every season in order to like keep her apple or keep her establishment on the show. And it's like, Sonia, you don't even have to do that, because I think it was last season when Sonia wasn't really drinking that much and she gave so much entertainment, as she usually does. It's like a lot of people, when they have to get sober or whatever, they say, oh, I feel like I'm not going to be any fun anymore. If I get sober, people are still going to laugh at me. Of course they will.
There could be a lot. Who knows being on a show like this has to cause so much stress that I would want to drink.
Mm-hmm.
These people are evil to each other.
So then the ladies head off to Mexico for, the season trip, which, oh my gosh, you guys, this house, they had a 12,000 square foot villa that they had all to themselves. Full staff, oh my gosh, it was incredible. This was probably... I've been watching this show. Well, what is this, season 12? I've been watching this show for 12 years, and I have yet to see a villa this beautiful. Maybe the one Bethany picked out last year, but this one was way better. Like, this one was crazy. It was insane. They had the whole place. It looked like a resort. We thought it was a hotel at first.
I thought it was a resort.
Yeah.
Like an Airbnb type resort. That's just done up.
It is insane. They're greeted by a mariachi band. It is just like, it's gorgeous.
Did they mention how much it cost to rent?
No, they did not. I'm interested. Well, we can look it up afterwards, because I'm actually kind of want to know.
The entryway was insane.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful...
Like, the pillars were wrapped with vines.
Like, I'm legit, like, should we get a group of people and see how much this is and, like, head out, or what?
I don't think with a group of people we could afford it.
You never know.
I don't...
They might be giving discounts because of the show. They clearly wanted to be featured on the show, and they weren't. It was gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, wow.
And we know that you can get drunk and throw a naked tantrum.
Yeah, coming up soon. So they make it to this beautiful place. Meanwhile, on the way to the trip, in the airport, all this kind of stuff, you see Ramona and Leah keeping their distance from each other. Ramona specifically is, purposely ignoring Leah, just going away, which is like, here's the thing about Ramona. Ramona loves to dodge confrontation, which I understand. I'm not a confrontational person myself, but if you're going around talking about this person to A, B, and C, then you need to be able to at least let that person know, like, I don't like the way that you did this. I don't like how you reacted. I don't like how you acted at my party. I don't like this at all. But Ramona seems to be like hiding from Leah, and I think she's just afraid of the confrontation. She ran away from her at the spa day.
She started the confrontation. She initiated all the confrontation. Like, she's the one telling everybody all these things that she could have kept to herself. Mm-hmm. If she wanted to avoid confrontation, she could just keep her mouth shut.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing. I don't think she's trying to avoid any kind of confrontation. I think she's just like...
She just doesn't want to get called out.
Exactly.
For being a bitch.
Right, and being like double standards, like for treating.
I don't think she is aware of her double standards. I think that's completely out of her mind.
I 100% agree. Ramona is, and she's on the Ramona coaster. Y'all know she's on her thing, doing whatever. They're at the airport getting all their bags, and Luann gets her bag, and it starts vibrating, and everybody's like, "Oh, Luann's vibrator's going off." Luann claims it was a juicer, but y'all, who's traveling with a juicer? Who's bringing a juicer on vacation? And she knows the villa or wherever this thing is going to have juice. That was 100% not a juicer. Luann was getting her vibrate on, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That was the most powerful vibrator.
That thing was strong.
For being battery operated?
Yeah.
I'm not like a vibrator expert, but that just seemed like a lot of vibration.
Hitachi strength. That vibrator sounded Hitachi industrial strength.
It sounded like it fell into like loose boards and was just like banging around, making the most noise possible.
Yeah, like in a hollow tomb. It was crazy. Everybody heard it. It was, baby, that was not a juicer. First of all, juicers don't vibrate. They don't make that kind of noise. That's a specific noise.
Well, mixing another type of juice. That's what she says.
Dorinda, which was disgusting.
It wasn't my favorite, but it was funny.
I don't like that one bit. Okay, so when they first get to the villa, of course, we see it's so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. They show the pool. They have these beautiful floaties. My favorite floatie was the avocado one. Ramona tries to get in one of the floats, and she falls completely backwards, which was my favorite part of the episode, because she's trying to be, Ramona is always trying to be like the sexiest person in the room, and that just like took her right out immediately.
That made her seem more fun to me.
Yeah. Here's the Ramona is...
I still hate her, but it made her seem more fun.
Ramona is fun. Well, she can be fun at times. Ramona is always trying to fit in some sort of clique, so it just bothers me about Ramona. If she would just like let loose and relax and just like be a fun person. I also am going to say this right now. I feel like this might be Ramona's last season, which is crazy because she's been on since episode 1, season 1. But I feel like we're moving into a Ramona-less New York, which I'm going to say this. As much as I hate Ramona, I don't know if Housewives of New York is ever going to be the same without Ramona. We need that crazy, annoying-ass Ramona touch. As much as you love to hate some of these housewives, sometimes it's beneficial for us to have them on the show. And I'm very sad. I just feel like Ramona's going away. She's always leaving in the middle of party. She left her own house. Her house in the Hamptons. She left her own house to go to a party. And it's like, where are you going? This is your episode. This is your show. She's like, these ladies are boring. They don't want to go out. I'm going to my friend's party. In the Hamptons, dipped out on everybody. And it's like, Ramona girl, she's not, I feel like this seems, if it's not this season, I feel like next season is probably going to be Ramona's last season. I think she's gotten way full of herself with the show. I feel like she doesn't think she needs the show anymore, which she absolutely does. But
does she?
Yeah, she needs the show. She likes the attention. She likes being Ramona from Housewives. And if she leaves, people barely even know who the fuck she is. Unless you watch Housewives, you don't know who Ramona is. So it's like she's gonna shoot herself in the foot if she leaves. And I hate Ramona. She's definitely not my favorite housewife by any means. So I feel it, y'all. I feel it in my heart. Sometimes you can feel when people are leaving. I feel like Ramona's leaving, and I feel like Dorinda's going to leave in a couple of seasons also, because Dorinda's has a horrible season. She looked great this episode, which I was super surprised. Dorinda was very low-key in this episode. We got no evil Dorinda. None.
She was short hair?
Yeah,
so
short hair.
She's normally evil?
She's terrible.
She was one of the most normal people in this episode.
She's a monster. I couldn't believe Dorinda was nice. And I was watching it through yours. I'm like, he thinks she's nice. He don't even know. If you only knew.
She got that Karen haircut.
And she is a Karen.
She seemed like the voice of reason in this episode. She was like the middle woman between the two fighting people.
This episode, Dorinda is awful. She likes to get drunk. She insulted Luann for going to jail last year. Luann said something, goes, "You're the one with a fucking mugshot. Look at you. You're messy." Saying that. And then she brought it up again this season. She gets in people's faces. Dorinda is, I feel like, in my opinion, y'all, this is my opinion. Dorinda is an alcoholic. She cannot. A true alcoholic is somebody, when they take drinks, they turn into a completely different person. And Dorinda is disgusting when she drinks. It is, her face even turns like to a. It's not cool. And I
feel like there's a few alcoholics on this show.
Oh, I mean, come on. But there's something specific about Dorinda. I wish you would have seen.
I've seen people who have that reaction to alcohol. It's different personalities come out.
As soon as they arrive in Mexico, Ramona and Sonia kind of make their way down to like the beach part of the. Okay, if you guys didn't see that video version, if you guys didn't see that Mike just did wine face, I'll zoom in so you guys can see it. So as soon as they get down to Mexico, Ramona and Sonia immediately go down to the beach area, which is super cute, and Ramona starts venting again to Sonia about how disappointed she is in Leah, just completely talking about how upset she is with Leah and never addressing the Sonia situation. Sonia's face could be, she
gave no shits,
not even one. And she, not only does she not give any shits, she just completely just goes along with Ramona's saying. She goes, yeah, like Leah should definitely behave in a better manner because she doesn't know all these women. Sonia seems to think that because she knew all those women at the party, it was okay to behave the way that she did, when it was not. Sonia,
Ramona was in front of 50 of her closest female friends.
50 of my best girlfriends, okay? My best girlfriends. She should have been embarrassed about Sonia, and not even Leah's behavior is so minuscule compared to what Sonia did at that party. Y'all know if you saw it. It is insane. And Ramona is just like, I can't believe Leah did this, and I can't believe Leah did that. First of all, I feel like Sonia was already drunk, as we will talk about in a few minutes, but I feel like Sonia was already super drunk.
I feel like Sonia was born drunk.
Probably. With rosé and Coke in hand. Ramona, it seems like Sonia's just kind of trying to brush off Ramona, and also I feel like Sonia might be happy that Ramona isn't focusing on her. Yeah, so Ramona's like, it's okay, talk about Leah, like, don't focus on me. I feel like that's what Sonia was trying to do, which is, I don't blame her. Like, listen, you're embarrassed sometimes when you're a drunk fool, and you only hope the attention wasn't on you, and you can just kind of let it skirt by. I don't blame Sonia, but at the same time, like, girl, come on now, you know you were the true mess of that party.
You're a mess this whole episode. Seeing her in all of her glory is my introductory episode. Was kind of, I just don't.
It was a gem. I'm glad you got to see Sonia like that.
Weird. My entire life experience with women in their 50s is like my mom. Like, I don't picture this shit.
Right.
I don't know.
So then they're kind of getting ready. It's as soon, they're settling down. They're having like snacks and drinks and stuff right before they get ready to pick the rooms. And Sonia points out that Ramona's wearing like these leggings or whatever. She goes, where's your vagina? I don't see anything. It's so like flat. She goes,
no, she's got no camel toe.
Yeah, she goes, oh, you don't have any kind of camel toe. She goes, I have such a chubby pussy. And everybody's like, bitch, what?
Chubbiest pussy.
Yeah, I got the chubbiest pussy. And Ramona's like looking at her little, flat vagina, as whatever you want to call it. And Leah's just like in shock because she's like, wow, this is what we're really talking about. Like, this is like, Leah was like, if I would have said that, it would have been crazy. And I do agree, but I also will say this. I feel like I said earlier, when they're in their group contained, it's pretty much everything goes. I feel like Ramona was most embarrassed by Leah's behavior because it was in front of her friend.
Ramona even said that, like, while they were in their little resort in Mexico, she could get as drunk as she wants, run around naked. Cause she said she gave her permission to start a fire, to light a hut on fire. I know it was sarcastic. I know what she was doing, but I mean,
you didn't see this episode, but previous episodes ago,
she discussed it, throwing torches at her house.
Yeah, she threw the tiki torches. Leah got naked. We got to see a lot of Leah the first time she had a drink, and I loved it. I love Leah.
That makes me kind of sad that she had a drink. If she was sober for that, and is she still drinking, or was that a one-off?
She's actually sober now. She's been sober for about 3 months now, present day. But on this show, we've only seen up to here, but she drank a couple of times so far on the season. Yeah. And but nowadays, from what I've seen on her Instagram, she's been sober for about 3 months now. So I'm really proud of her. But she says her drinking wasn't attributed to any kind of addiction. She just said she needed a break. But I think she definitely has some sort of bad relationship with alcohol. I don't think it's a full-blown addiction. medication, but it's definitely something that she knows that she needs to keep in check, and clearly because now she's sober again. So then we also find out they also have an earlier scene when Ramona does go to Sonia's Century 21 clothing thing, where Ramona reveals that she found out that Leah is bipolar. That comes into play later in this episode when Leah is having a conversation with Dorinda, and Sonia told Leah that, hey, Ramona told me you're bipolar. And Leah's like, first of all, how do you even know that? And second of all, why are you even going around talking about me being bipolar, saying I mix my medication with my alcohol? Leah definitely, so Leah then comes out and reveals to us that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder when she was 30 years old. And she's been working on it for the past 9 years. I think Leah's 39. I think she's been working out for the past 9 years. And she said, first of all, I'm not even on medication. And also, why is Ramona going around telling everybody about my mental health issues? And why is she saying it like it's something to be ashamed of? And this is why I'm behaving this way. That's not why I'm behaving this way. That is what Leah is saying. So I will go ahead and believe her because it's her body. It's her mind. So, I mean,
from my interpretation, don't get me wrong, I still think Ramona is a crazy woman. Mm-hmm. But I didn't interpret her saying that as an insult or derogatory way of saying, oh, well, she's got bipolar disorder, so she's a piece of crap. I didn't pick it up that way.
No, she didn't say it like she was a piece of crap. She was saying she's behaving this way because she's bipolar and she's mixing alcohol. That's why she's acting a mess at all my parties and in my house and stuff. That's why Ramona is saying oh, she has bipolar disorder, so that's why she's...
I think I phrased it wrong. Bravo. I phrased it wrong. Bravo. I didn't think she was presenting the information to be derogatory. I think she was just being irresponsible as a blabbermouth.
I agree.
Yeah. I still think she's a piece of crap.
Yeah. Listen. I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to always keep saying this. They're all pieces of crap. We know these people are assholes. We know they're pieces of shit, but we love watching their beautiful, luxurious lives, and we also love their drama. It's an escape sometimes to just come home and watch other people get into stuff like this. It's so fun to watch.
I get it. For my personality type, I'm angry that people who behave like this exist.
Exactly.
So I can't watch this stuff normally without getting angry. I don't hate them, and I don't dislike people who watch these shows. Just watching people behave this way makes me viscerally angry. Mm-hmm.
I understand that is completely valid. That is completely valid.
I shouldn't get an adrenaline rush watching reality TV.
I think last night when we were watching Sonia, he could not believe. He's like, was she naked? We'll get into it in a few minutes.
No, that didn't bother me. That was actually me being very happy. Mm-hmm. I was blown away because it was the first time I've ever seen any TV show or any movie blur just the nipple. The rest of her titty...
And her whole ass.
Asses are always shown. They never blur that. Whether it's a man ass, woman's ass, those are... But it was like she was wearing pasties. And I've always seen them blur out the whole chest. It didn't matter. It didn't change the scene. It was just... It caught me off guard. Yeah. I was like, I've never seen just a nipple blur.
It's a little revealing. Another thing they do on Bravo that they haven't done in a lot of years is they say dick and cum and stuff. And I'm like, wow, they're saying cum on here? For it all.
Well, does this air on TV or is it unedited for... watching it online?
No, what we saw is what airs on TV.
Okay. Them titties.
Yeah, titties.
Them old lady titties.
Yeah, I made a note when we spoke to her earlier. I said Dorinda is on her best behavior this episode. Who is this?
She seemed so normal. She seemed the voice of reason.
Oh my god. I'm so... you think you hate Ramona. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't hate Ramona. I just can't handle her intensity. Even if she were a nice person, somebody that intense who speaks that fast, that's just above my wavelength of being able to process.
I feel like
I'm lazy.
I feel like if I show you some highlight Dorinda clips, you'll be infuriated.
Probably.
I feel like, okay, that's why I'm saying I feel like either this season or maybe in the next season or two is going to be Dorinda's last because I feel like she's going to be so embarrassed watching how she behaved. But here's the thing. Dorinda should have been embarrassed by the way she behaved last season. So, I can't even, be like, oh, this season's going to change. She was a mess last season. She was an asshole last season. So, and she's still on the show. So, but
I don't know how these people watch themselves. Like, after they do it, and they're like, sure, I'll sign up and do it again.
Some of them say they don't watch it because they know. Some of them, like, I know what happened. I know how I behaved, so I don't want to watch this. But here's the thing. When they do the reunions, they have to watch it back because Andy sits them all in. You saw that when we watched Below Deck. Andy sits them all in a thing, and they're like, this is what happened. Here's this scene.
Are you doing this just for Housewives, or are you doing it for Below Deck?
I'm doing all Bravo. I'm going to do Below Deck.
I'm in for Below Deck.
Okay, you guys, I have a Below Deck partner. We say this now. We'll probably do Below Deck starting from season 1 going forward because we really like Below Deck, and I have yet to start Below Deck Med. So if you like these kind of recaps and stuff like this and you want to hear us talk about Below Deck, please let me know in the comments down below. I am more than willing to talk about Below Deck.
I work in the nautical industry, so it kind of interests me. Even though it's completely unrelated to anything I do, because then I'm interested.
Yeah, so if you guys like this, if you like me and Mike's chemistry, if you like Mike on here, let me know. He's more than willing to talk about Below Deck with me. So y'all just let me know in the comments, and we'll definitely make that happen for y'all.
I don't have to just be a filler.
Mike is a filler. Okay.
I'm okay with that.
I'm going to say this. Well, I'm not going to say this up front because I'm saying it right now in the middle of the podcast. But this podcast is mainly going to be me solo. If I have a guest available, I will have a guest. Mike just happened to be gracious enough to be my first guest.
I picked out the wine, and you sharing that shit.
And he picked out the wine. So
It was nautical. We should have saved it for Below Deck.
That's actually a good idea. So he volunteered his time and his services to be my first guest. Okay, so the ladies are finally starting to unpack. They're kind of starting to get settled down, getting ready for dinner.
Moving their vibrators from bags.
Yeah, they're taking the vibrators out, putting the juicers where they need to go. And we see, the getting ready montage is always my favorite. I love a getting ready montage. We see Ramona getting ready. We see Sonia avoiding getting ready. She's drunk on the bed drinking rosé. She's finding food in the bed.
She's me. When you get done getting ready and you're waiting in the front chair out front, and you're like, okay, where the fuck is Mike?
Yeah, I'm always waiting on him, by the way.
Not always.
One time?
That's all it takes.
Okay.
I was waiting on you.
Y'all at one time. 6 years. One time.
And she walked out, and I had the giantest, cheesiest, most smug grin in the world. I was so happy.
The one time. Then we see Sonia. We really get to see the true drunkenness of Sonia when they're getting ready to go to. I mean, we see more in a minute, but I also didn't realize Sonia was that drunk until I saw her in the bed with the rosé.
Nobody did. She was just drinking like a Coke and rosé.
Ugh, yeah. So then we find out her drink of choice is Coke and rosé, which is, first of all, so disgusting. But wait, is it? We'll find out on the next podcast.
You'll find out.
On the next podcast, we're going to drink Coke and rosé, y'all, and we'll let y'all know what we think about Coke and rosé. It sounds absolutely disgusting in my opinion, but maybe Sonia's into something, y'all. We don't know. Señorita. They're alcoholics. And
I will say, as crazy as she was, that scene made me like Sonia.
Yeah.
I would hang out with that grandma.
Sonia's a good time. Sonia's always fun. She's always trying to fuck somebody. She's super sexual.
I don't want in on that. I just think she would be hilarious to talk to.
Yeah, Sonia's definitely a good time. She's definitely not a mean drunk. Sonia's definitely a fun drunk.
And I know that if my story's boring, she'll just sit there and take it and be like, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
with you 100%. I'm on your side in this thing I'm not paying attention to.
Sonia will give you the time of day when she's drunk. Sonia
that.
is wasted. And then we find out it's
You don't give no fucks about what I say.
I don't. And then we find out it's only 6 o'clock. Y'all, it's like 6:50 and Sonia is blasted, you guys. Blasted.
We watched this yesterday and then we rewatched it today, and you had to keep reassuring me that she wasn't taking pills, and I did not.
I said I didn't know.
Drunk.
I said I don't know.
We don't know, but it just didn't seem like
Ramona
normal
actually
drunk.
said, I don't know how Sonia's this drunk. Maybe it's a mix of pills and whatever. So even Ramona thought Sonia seemed a little too drunk, a little bit too drunk. So. I who knows what it is. We're gonna just say it's alcohol, and that's what we're gonna go with. But Sonia is lit, B. She's effing lit.
She seemed very like how I would allegedly behave on muscle relaxers.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Muscle relaxers make you kind of drowsy. She was up and about. She was super poppy.
But she was so slow and wavy and methodical. It just seemed like there was more. I don't know. I'm talking about this woman's life. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, maybe she had a half a day in or something like that. they're getting ready to. First of all, they're late. The people got ceviche on ice.
They're in their own private rental. They're not late. They can do whatever the hell they want.
No, they're late. There was a time they had to be down for dinner at a time. The fish was on ice. Like they had to set dinner time.
Look, if I am
even when you're in your own private resort,
I'm
you still
making
have
this number
stuff.
up, but if I'm paying or splitting 10 grand for a private rental, it's on my time.
Yeah, but they set the time, so they said we'll be ready at this time. So the people are still late. They're late for the time that they set.
I just don't care.
I mean, I understand, but don't order ceviche. Be as late as you want, but don't.
I'll eat shitty ceviche.
Ugh. Okay, girl, you gonna be on the toilet.
I live on the toilet. You yell at me because I play on my phone in there. That's my home.
So while they're getting ready, Ramona's ready already. Of course, she's walking around the house, doing her. Leah and Luann are playing pool downstairs, and Leah can see Ramona coming in. And
is she good or bad? Is she crazy? Is she an evil villain?
They're all bad. She's bad.
But is she mean?
No.
Is she mean or just crazy?
She's not mean. She's just a privileged white lady who's an asshole. I told you about how when she got fired, or how she got arrested last year, she kicked a police officer, spit on them, wriggled out of her handcuffs.
That was her.
Only managed to go to jail for 1 day and got some probation as community service.
Holy shit.
Had it been a black person, they'd be dead. But, yeah, that's Luann. So Luann and Leah are playing pool downstairs, and Leah sees Ramona come down. She's like, she's going to definitely avoid me. Ramona is bebopping and scatting all around this house, going everywhere except for the pool room. Is there wine over here? Oh, is this the beach?
Cocaine? Who? Ramona.
No, that is Ramona. Unfortunately, that is who she is.
It's not. I'm not saying her personality traits. I'm just saying that
her
level,
jerkiness, the way she
that
moves.
level of energy.
No, that is Ramona.
She's gonna have a heart attack.
It's truly me. It's turtle time, Ramona.
Turtle time.
She's avoiding them. She's like, oh, is this ceviche? Oh, look at the fish. What do you do with the grapefruit? Oh, is this wine? Oh, let me get it. Just completely like trying to avoid Leah at all costs is probably it's definitely a funny scene because Ramona is definitely likes to be in the mix. So to see her like ducking and dodging.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
She's a horrible woman.
Yes. So then Luann reveals that Sonia was drinking rosé and Coke, which, like I said, y'all, we will try it out on the next podcast to let y'all know how this rosé and Coke thing pans out. So the final scene or the major plot point of the episode was Leah confronting Ramona, which was actually brought up by an extremely drunk Sonia. Sonia was the one that said, oh, Ramona, Leah wasn't trying to avoid you, or Ramona wasn't trying to ignore you. Sonia drunkenly creates the conversation for Ramona and Leah.
In her defense, she did say that she wasn't drunk.
I'm not drunk. She's completely blasted, but it does start the dialogue between Ramona and Leah.
She screamed that she hit her limit.
I'm at my limit.
I mean, she elongated limit. Like, it was bad.
It was very bad, but it's like...
As an introductory episode, like, this is just... Like, it's weird because I know when I'm that age, I'm still going to be drinking and having fun and being a douche. Mm-hmm. But it's just hard for me, being this is the first time I've seen that, to see, like, somebody over the age of 30-something behaving this way.
Yeah, he's shocked that these grown-ass women are behaving like this, but y'all know as tried and true Housewives fans, this is par for the course. Leah and Ramona finally have some sort of confrontation. You can definitely tell that Ramona is still not trying to hear Leah. Ramona's definitely uncomfortable, and she's like, I don't want to do this in front of all these people. And then, like, Leah's like, well, let's do it. Like, what's up? And she's like, I never did anything to you. There were people doing way worse stuff at your party. And it's just Ramona. She goes, you've been talking about my vagina to the entire Upper East Side. And Ramona's like, I don't talk about your vagina. She's like, yes, you do. You've been telling people about my disease. And Ramona's like, you're crazy. You're the one going around calling me crazy. No, Leah's like, no, you're the one calling me crazy. You're the one talking about my mental illness. And Ramona just leaves. She was like, I don't even like the word vagina. Luann's completely lost. She's like, I feel like I've missed part of this conversation. Luann doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Meanwhile, you guys are all probably used to this shit if you've watched this, but it blew my mind that they were doing this in front of all of like the helpers, like all the people that were cooking the food, cutting up the fish. Mm-hmm. They even showed like the dude's like slicing fish, and his facial reaction is like, what the fuck are these bitches doing?
Yeah, staff reactions are great side shots. We
It's
love it. We
insane.
love a staff reaction.
And I'm trying to figure out, I still am trying to figure out where it's edited. Are they using a staff reaction from a half hour
Probably,
prior,
who
or
knows?
what's going
Yeah,
on?
of
But
course.
it's whoever's editing this show. You're doing
It's brilliant.
You're doing your shit.
I wish you would have saw the last episode.
Are you hiring?
Editing at its best in the last episode. So y'all, that is pretty much it. That's pretty much how we wrapped up this episode of New York. Of course, it continues next week with... I can't even wait until the next episode. We, of course, continue with our Mexico trip, and I'm just so excited about it. Like, New York, y'all know, I'm going to go ahead and say this. My top 3 Housewives franchises of all time is Atlanta, New York, and Potomac. So those are definitely my absolute, they have my heart. They're always the most controversial. They're always the most, like, entertaining. They're effortlessly funny. That's why I love those franchises the most. And people are going to be upset when I say what I'm about to say right now, but I don't give a fuck. Bethany was my absolute favorite housewife, bitch. And I'm looking in the camera when I say this. I love the B. Be strong. I love Bethany, and I will be honest, I am not missing Bethany this season. I'm not missing Bethany. I thought I would, but I feel like Leah coming in is so different, and I'm not really missing Tinsley halfway through the season. Tinsley's a great mess. I love to watch Tinsley for the drama and the mess. I am going to miss her, but I'm not missing her as much as I thought I would. She left halfway through the season. So I'm just going to say, y'all, I feel hopeful for New York. I feel like they're going to keep thriving and surviving as they always do. So what are your overall thoughts about New York Housewives specifically?
I think you laid it out for me earlier that it was an anomaly, but New York was the boring episode between the two.
Yeah, which is crazy. Y'all.
It just seemed... This episode didn't seem life-shattering to me. It seemed like a bunch of just catty bickering between old ladies who have too much time and money.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a very high school argument episode.
Yeah. Just petty stuff, Ramona being petty and all that kind of stuff, y'all. So those are our final thoughts on New York. We are getting ready to move into Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is definitely not my favorite. As a matter of fact, Beverly Hills is my least favorite of all the franchises, but I will say between bringing on Denise last season, and it's just been amazing. And Garcelle this season, Garcelle and Sutton, I will say I appreciate both of them as new housewives. I know a lot of people were turned off by Sutton this season, but I like Sutton. She stirs up the drama. She's a Southern belle, and I'm here for it.
In this episode, she seemed like
the
voice of reason again.
Sutton hasn't bothered me in any of the seasons. I understand people thought like she was nitpicking at Teddy, but y'all, Teddy is fucking boring and she deserved it. So I don't give a fuck. So this episode is season 10, episode 12, and it is called Roman Rumors. The ladies are just starting to touch down in Italy. We find out that Garcelle and Denise are catching a later flight, and then we find out that Sutton is getting her passport, which really surprised me. Like Mike said, maybe her passport expired, but I was super shocked to find out that Sutton didn't have a passport. Bitch, I have a passport. On the way to their hotel that they're staying at, Kyle, Teddy, and Lisa are in the same car, and Teddy and Kyle are spilling the tea to Lisa about the conversation that Brandy and Kim brought to Kyle and Teddy, which was basically, Brandy said allegedly that she had sex with Denise. And she basically said it like Denise coerced her into having sex. She was like, well, Denise promised me that there would be a cot or a rollaway bed. And then when I got there, I realized that there was no rollaway bed. So I had to sleep in the bed with Denise. And then we had sex. And then the next day, Denise said, you can't say anything to Aaron. He cannot know about this. And according to Brandy, she thought that it was okay to have sex with Denise because from what she heard, Aaron said it was okay for Denise to have sex with women just as long as it wasn't men. So that's the first thing that Brandy said. Then Brandy went on to say that Denise said to her that she doesn't like any of the women. She basically said that Teddy is living in her dad's shadow. Y'all know John Cougar Mellencamp. And that Erica is a cold-hearted bitch. Y'all, everybody says that about Erica because she is kind of cold. Like, that's, first of all, that's not any tea. That, I don't know why Erica was so upset by that, because Erica knows that she's cold. She said it, so I don't understand why that's an issue. Then she wanted to say she doesn't like Lisa Rinna, and I don't think she said anything about Kyle, Sutton, or Garcelle. Erica was the neck brace lady.
Oh.
So she said those things about them, and then she didn't say anything about Garcelle. From what we know, she didn't say anything about Garcelle or Sutton. Or Dorit, for that matter. But anyway, they're telling Lisa in the car that Brandy and Denise allegedly had sex. I'm going to speak my piece on this matter. I'm going to say what I feel like happened. I definitely feel like they had sex. I don't think that Denise said all those things about the ladies. It doesn't sound like Denise, and y'all know Brandy is super messy, and she's trying her absolute best to get back on the show, and I just feel like she's just trying to like claw her way through and trying to say everything she can to get the ladies against Denise. Also, I feel like the ladies have it in for Denise this season. They saw how well Denise came off last season. Her first season, everybody loved Denise. She's a fan favorite, and I feel especially Kyle, I don't think she liked that shit. She's clearly jealous, and she's hating on Denise. Denise is a real actress. She's Denise fucking Richards, bitch. And Kyle don't like that shit. Kyle wants this to be her show. Lisa's now gone. Lisa Vanderpump. You don't know her, but Lisa Vanderpump is now gone.
Vanderpump Rules?
Yeah, Vanderpump Rules. So now Kyle feels like it's her time to reign, and I feel like Denise is getting in her space, and I feel like Kyle is not liking that. So I feel like Kyle is trying to get all the other women against Denise. That is my opinion. That is how I feel. And it's the motherfucking truth.
Okay. Who is Kyle?
Dark hair, bangs.
Long dark hair? Mm-hmm. The only, like, jet black hair?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
That's Kyle. Kyle Richards, a.k.a. the sister to Kathy Hilton, a.k.a. the aunt.
Okay, yeah, the Hilton.
The aunt to Nikki and Paris Hilton. Those are my thoughts and feelings on Kyle. I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I don't like Kyle. I have never liked Kyle. She's so desperate and thirsty for attention. She's also super needy. She's extremely insecure. And it just screams off camera. And it's just like, she's so like, I'm just not here for it. She's not real at all. She's super phony, super Hollywood. And I don't like that shit. And I don't like Kyle, y'all. So if you listen to this podcast, know ahead of time, I will never like Kyle. Goodbye, Kyle. I never liked that bitch and I never will.
I don't know anything about her, but I mean, I live with you, so fuck Kyle.
So then they finally touch down in Italy. We see their gorgeous hotels. In my opinion, outside of Lisa Rinna's room, all the rooms are actually kind of basic to me.
I don't remember any of the rooms.
It was the one with the tub, the open tub.
Oh, yeah, the nipple art.
Yep, nipple art.
They, like, whoever painted those walls spent as much time painting that nipple as they did the rest of the entire, like, 8-foot painting. Like, I have never seen a painting that has that... Like, he made it a purpose to make sure that that lady in the painting had hard nips.
Bitch, we getting these nipples short.
I don't understand why he did that. Or she did that. Whoever painted it.
I didn't think the rooms were all that spectacular, is what I'm trying to say. And I understand that where they are, and, you know, they don't have a whole Mexican villa and everything like that, like they did in New York. But, and I do understand, yeah, they're right next to the Vatican and all that. The rooms were super nice. I would absolutely stay there. I just feel like for Housewives, y'all know the kind of trips they go on. I feel like it could have been a little bit more extravagant, but it was super beautiful. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But
I think for their location, the extravagance doesn't exist.
Maybe.
I mean, it seemed very downtown.
Yeah,
it was almost like it was
very
an
central
apartment building redone for rich people to stay in.
Mm-hmm. They are getting ready to go to have dinner and drinks or whatever, and so Kyle calls Dorit. She calls Dorit's room. She goes, oh, you know, by the way, like, what are you wearing? Y'all know Kyle has some sort of issue with the ladies bringing glam, and here's what I don't understand. Kyle might be the richest housewife on the roster right now. If I'm trying to think, she might have some close competition with Sutton and maybe Erica, but that's husband related. Well, so is Kyle. I think Kyle might be one of the richest housewives on this current cast, and I'm not sure why she's so upset that the women want to bring their glam squad over. Kyle is always super offended when people bring glam.
Maybe she doesn't like to do up, and she gets angry that everybody else is doing up around her.
I agree with that, but it's like, why do you care? Then bring your fucking glam. It's not hurting you none. Why would my fabulousness take your shine? And that's another thing. That's what I'm saying. I think Kyle feels insulted when people look better than her, or they have like glam, or the whole glam situation with Kyle really bothers me, because it's like, Kyle, you can more than afford to bring glam. Maybe her husband doesn't want to pay for glam, but Kyle makes money from the show, so she can definitely afford to bring her own
it's a
glam.
personal choice. I just don't think she wants to.
Something about it really bothers Kyle, that they bring glam. So anyway, she called Dorit and was like, what are you wearing? Dorit says this. Dorit goes, oh, I'm just wearing like a white shirt, black jeans, like a little flat boot, real simple. Cut to Dorit getting pearls glued onto her temple, her fucking laid ass baby hair swooped up to the gods. She's wearing Chanel from head to toe when they finally get to dinner. Dorit, I knew what Dorit was doing.
She's wearing like gloves.
Yeah, she's wearing Chanel gloves. She goes, you know what? I'm keeping it super simple. Dorit wants to show up and show out, and that's why I love Dorit. Dorit has taken my heart, y'all. I can't even tell you how much I hated Dorit like 2 seasons ago. Her and PK, her husband, their shadiness is beyond. She's probably still broke as fuck, but let me tell you something. Dorit dresses and fashions. I'm here to see the fashions. I love that Versace outfit that she wore to dinner the next. I'll talk about that in a minute, but that Chanel shirt. Y'all know I tried to buy that Chanel shirt.
How much was it?
It was like $950, like something like.
You tried to buy that?
I did. I wanted that shirt. So Dorit dresses up head to toe, slaying for the gods. I'm really loving this. I'm not gonna say it's like black hair, but I'm really loving Dorit's sleek back gel, kind of like what I'm doing right here today. Y'all know y'all can't see me if you watch this on YouTube, but I'm sleeking it back. It's really like, and I can tell those baby hairs are gelled down, and she has specific place baby hairs. It's very black culture, her hair, and I love it. Dorit's been doing a lot of that this season. I'm really here for it. I know a lot of people don't know where that comes from, but that's like black culture kind of hairstyle.
So you don't consider it appropriation?
I don't consider it appropriation because maybe, but I don't think so, because Dorit's so into fashion that I don't think Dorit's trying to be like culturally appropriating. I feel like Dorit, she
just thinks it fits the outfit.
I think she's doing it for the fit. She's doing it for the fashion. Also, she loves it. I feel like Dorit is really in love. Also, she's a fashion designer. She's also just like, she's loving it. It's all for the love of fashion. You can definitely tell when somebody's trying to do it to be like, oh, this black people like this is cool.
I feel like this episode, there is no way anybody could debate that crazy fucking lady is obsessed with fashion. You're gonna get to it later.
Yeah, Dorit loves the fashions. I mean, I'm here
She's
for it. She's
crazy.
I'm absolutely here for it. I'll absolutely love it. I love what she wore.
If you ever do what she did, I will not go out in public with you. There's no way.
We'll talk about it later, I guess. But
she wore a neck brace.
Oh, that's
so that she wouldn't hit
that's
a
a
hat.
different person.
Never mind. I don't know who Dorit is.
Okay. So they meet for drinks across the street from the Coliseum, and they're just kind of like chit-chatting. It's all super cute. Kyle orders a margarita, which I don't love that either. I don't like that she got a margarita in Italy. I mean, I understand, like, drink whatever you want, wherever, but if it was me, I want, like, drinks that were, like, I want wine. I want fancy Italian wines, and I want to be, like, Prosecco and things like Dorit was saying, even though she ordered a gin and tonic or Tito's and soda.
She ordered a vodka tonic.
Right.
She was complaining about ordering a margarita, and then said she ordered a vodka tonic, but said it's okay because she ordered it in Italian.
Right. Listen, baby, don't you know shade. I definitely would have got some like really nice Italian wine. Y'all, I am a wino. The ladies are just having like nice chit chat or whatever, and then they get a phone call from Doris and Garcelle saying, oh, like, ladies, we're here. We'll meet you in the hotel. Da 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 da. And they're like, okay, cool. And then like out of nowhere, Denise and Garcelle pop up at the drinks, and everybody's super shocked, especially Teddy. Teddy is so uncomfortable. She's so visibly uncomfortable. And Teddy's mostly uncomfortable because of Denise. She doesn't want to confront Denise, and she's just like not really ready to talk about it. So Teddy is definitely very visibly uncomfortable. Finally meet for the drinks. It's all kind of casual. Garcelle is talking about how she wants to invite Chocolate Mike, her new man, over for Thanksgiving, and she doesn't know how that's going to go over with White Mike, her husband, her ex-husband. she's like, I don't know if I really want to bring him over. Is that going to cause tension? I don't want Mike judging Chocolate Mike. Like, how's that going to work? And all the women are like, it might be too messy. It's probably not a good idea to invite him over for Thanksgiving. So
how long has it been?
They're newly dating, like weeks, months, maybe.
But I mean, how long was the divorce?
Oh, they've been divorced for years. Like, that happened in the early 2000s. They're friends, but she maybe just feels uncomfortable. Maybe he's gonna grill the other guy, or maybe I don't know.
But I mean, they if they're friends, they've at least discussed it. She has to have told him about the guy.
She got cheated on for years of her marriage, and just to be moving on and stuff. She also wants to make sure. Maybe she wants to make sure that the Chocolate Mike is solid and he wants to be around, for a long time. So I feel like she was just saying that, and there might be something deeper to the conversation. But she's bringing it up on the show like, I might not have him here for Thanksgiving. Probably giving us a pre-notice to why we won't see Chocolate Mike at the Thanksgiving episode. Maybe, who knows. I'm really proud of Garcelle for keeping such a cool head and being so friendly with Mike after what he did to her. It's just all for the sake of their kids. You can tell they're doing it for their kids, and it's really nice just to see divorced people be so cordial and respectful of each other. You can tell they have a lot of respect for each other.
Seems rather rare.
Yeah, it seems super rare, and they get along. He's at the birthday parties. I just think it's so nice to see, and it's really nice to see that on TV, and especially with a black woman being a single mom raising these twin boys, to see her how that's why Garcelle works so much. I will say that's one thing I don't like about Garcelle this season. I felt like she was gone a lot for a lot of the drama because she was working. She's a mom and she's not dependent on Mike's money. She's dependent on her money, which from what I heard, he was super successul, like extremely successful movie producer. I never heard of him before, but I don't know.
What was his name?
Mike something. I don't know movie producers like that, so I don't know about that kind of stuff. And Garcelle even talked about how she got a lot of shit for dating a white man, in the early 2000s and stuff like that as a black woman. Yeah, what the fuck is she doing? Stupid. She's fucking dumb. I'm so proud that Garcelle is our first black Beverly Hills housewife. I'm sad that it took this long for us to have our first black Beverly Hills housewife. I'm super proud of Garcelle. I'm here for her. I just will say this. I'm not trying to pump her up just because she's black. I'm going to say this. I hope she really shows up next season and she really brings the drama. This first season was a nice, soft first season. She mixed it up. She definitely brought some interesting takes and stuff, but I want to see her really be present next season and really show us who she really is and stuff like that. Like, just because you're black, you're not going to get a pass from me, girl. You still got to bring the housewife drama. You're not going to be a housewife. You're not bringing the drama. Then the ladies kind of have that awkward drinks and stuff. That kind of disperses. They move on to the next day. And the ladies go shopping. They go to the Spanish Steps. They go to the Piazza. That's where they meet up with Sutton. And also they go shopping. Most of the ladies spend about $3,000. I think Lisa Rinna spends like $3,200, $3,900, $3,500, somewhere in there. And then Kyle spends $8,700, and I feel like that's Kyle's way of being like, bitch, I'm the grand dame. She's the Karen Huger, the Lisa Vanderpump of the season. I definitely feel like Kyle is trying to take her reins. Denise doesn't buy anything because Denise says her boots. Denise tried on Fendi boots and they didn't fit her. By the way, those boots were gorgeous. I would be very upset if they didn't have those boots in my size, but I don't think Denise bought anything. And I don't think Teddy bought anything either. They showed Lisa Rinna. They showed Kyle. They showed Erica. And I think Sutton. And I think, I think those are the 4 ladies that bought stuff. And I think the other 2 didn't buy anything. And no tea, no shade, but they're the brokest 2.
Garcelle tried on that jacket, but said she didn't want it.
Garcelle tried on a $30,000 jacket, and Garcelle is me.
I didn't ever hear the price.
$30,000. They put it across the screen.
It was just a fuzzy jacket.
$30,000, and they were like, "Oh, it's an investment. Buy it, buy it, buy it." She did not buy it, and I don't blame her. She has twin boys, teens. Of course she's not going to buy that jacket. She has kids to take care of. Even Dorit, I'm like, Dorit, shut up. We know you're in debt. But that's another story. Then we have the ladies going to dinner. Oh my God. This dinner scene, which came up the end of the episode. I will talk about the fashions. I loved Dorit's outfit. She had this black Versace t-shirt with Versace written across the top in white. And then she had this floral Versace open skirt. It was so cute. I would definitely say well, of course, the only 3 ladies that showed up in actual fashions were Dorit, Erica, and Sutton. Sutton probably dressed the best for her body in this episode I've ever seen her dress. Sutton is one of those people that just like to buy things because they are expensive. For tonight's episode, I feel like she definitely... It was a flowery floral dress. She had a red lip to match. I really love that. That's how Sutton should dress. She shouldn't be wearing all that other stuff that she wears just because it's like couture or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still ugly. Erica showed up in a black open space skirt, the same kind of style as Dorit's, but kind of like all black. Her makeup was gorgeous. She was dressed for a funeral. She had like on a whatever.
That creeped me out.
What are those things, those mesh things across the face? Erica was definitely showing out. And Mike actually pointed out while she was getting her glam, one of her glam guys had on a flannel bedazzled.
It's the most flamboyant lumberjack I've ever seen.
He had on like a bejeweled...
It was a flannel shirt that looked like he got shot with like a glitter shotgun.
Yeah, it was bad. It was terrible. Mikey was in the corner not doing anything, so I'm like, why was Mikey invited?
He's part of the team.
Maybe he was coordinating the fashions, I guess. I think they should do a separate little sideshow showing the glam teams. What do they do while the people aren't in glam, while they're not needing the glam services? I would love to see what the glam people do.
Cut down glitter trees.
I would love to see what the glam people do when the cast, the key leads aren't in tow. I would love to see what they do because they're definitely having probably the most fun. So they finally make it to dinner. Everybody looks gorgeous except for y'all. I'm not trying to shade on Teddy. We all know that Teddy's not a fashionista, okay? That is definitely very well known.
Isn't she also pregnant?
She is pregnant, but that doesn't have anything to do with why she's a bad dresser. She's been a bad dresser forever. It's just so unflattering for her body. She has on this big leopard print dress, fluffy sleeves, and it's just her body. She has such a nice body. We all know Teddy used to be 200 pounds. She lost all this weight, fitness instructor, whatever. Yeah, she used to be really...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she used to be big, and, like, eating and stuff is a huge thing for her. That's why Kyle was like, are you working out? She's like, yeah. Even while pregnant, she don't give a fuck. Teddy's like very like regimented in her health. That dress did not do anything for her body, and I think that Teddy could really benefit from a stylist. I just feel like her body is so nice, and she did do all that work to lose all that weight. So it's like dress pleasantly for your body, pregnant or not. She doesn't dress good when she's pregnant. She doesn't dress good when she's not pregnant, and I don't like it. It's like, you are too pretty. You're the youngest one here, bitch. You should be showing up all these bitches, but you look a mess, and you always do. Teddy. Baby, please.
Maybe she just doesn't care.
She cares. She tries to make it seem like... Because, here's the thing. When she first came on, she was very much like, oh, I'm a fruit and granola girl. I grew up on the land. Don't talk about my dad. And then season 2, she started getting glam, started getting her makeup done, but her clothes just never made it. And I don't even like Teddy. She's my least favorite anywhere. She should be fired, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just me. Hated her dress. Lisa Rinna also showed up in a leopard number that looked really good on her. I don't like Lisa in that wig. Like, baby, I do like that the wig wasn't as dry as it was in the last season. The last episode. They seem to put some oil on it, some sort of moisturizer with that wig. But Lisa Rinna really come through. She really needs to get like quality hair, and it's just not working. I don't like it. So they have the dinner. The dinner starts off nice enough. I guess Kyle's offended that Dorit's ordering her food in Italian, which is so annoying to me. You're in Italy. I feel like if you're in a country, at least learn the basics of the language. I'm not offended at all by Dorit speaking Italian to her meal. I understand that they were speaking English at the hotel, but like... I
think it's deeper than that. I don't think she's annoyed that she's speaking Italian. I think she's annoyed that she thinks speaking Italian is her way of saying that she's better than everybody else.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
I think it's deeper.
I can see that. Definitely.
Or maybe she just hates it. I just can't imagine somebody getting angry at that for not having another reason.
Yeah, I agree.
All these women is crazy.
You might be right, though. No, seriously. So then Sutton confronts Garcelle. She goes, I was offended that you asked me where my money came from. She goes, I just don't know why you asked me that. And, okay, I see both people's side of the story. Garcelle is from Haiti, and she's just, like, super blunt and super open. So, basically, she asked She asked Sutton last episode, so by the way, where did you get your money from? And Sutton did seem taken aback when she first asked her, but she still provided the information. She said, I married rich. I was with my husband since we were 13. We were married for 17 years, and it just didn't work out. According to Lisa Rinna, they own, like, athletic teams. Like, they come from a lot of money. So Garcelle was just like, oh, okay. I was just like wondering. So it seemed cool, but when they were in Italy, Sutton definitely brought up, she goes, I was super offended that you asked me where I got my money from. And Garcelle was like, oh, I'm surprised. I'm just a really blunt person. And Garcelle apologized, and they fucking kept it moving. And I feel like if a lot of these women could just do that, things would be like a lot easier. But
those two are also, from my gathering, those two are more close friends.
They're the two new people, so that's why they're like bonding.
Yeah, so you forgive your friend easier than you forgive somebody that you're not friends with. So you interpret things differently.
That's true.
You read things differently. I also don't understand why people are so uptight about money.
Well, that just comes about from where you're from. I am from Florida. I know people don't like to say Florida's the South, but it's pretty southern, and and Sutton is from Augusta, Georgia. When you're in the South, you just don't talk about, like, I just think it's so tacky and rude. It's just like, it's so intrusive, and it's so disgusting to be like, I make this much money. It's just, I don't like it.
It depends on the setting. Because the scene they showed with them talking was just those two at dinner. If you're in a group of people at a party and you ask it, it's
I agree.
Unclassy. But if you're just with your friends, like, I don't care. But I don't care
friends,
if my friend
plural.
makes 10 times as much as me. I'll talk about it. I'm not a bad.
Yeah, I don't like that. I just think I don't like, for me, it's just, I don't like, see, y'all can tell we're definitely very different about that. I don't like talking about money. I don't like for people to know how much money I make. It's just, something about it just seems very disgusting to me. And it's just like very like, why are we talking about this?
If you judge people based on the number they tell you, then yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
or
but
if you're just having a conversation, you're trying to figure people out.
Maybe. I don't know. I've had friends all my life. I don't know how much anybody makes. I don't know how much my mom makes. I don't know how much my sister makes. I don't know how much anybody makes. I don't talk about that kind of, it's none of my business. My thing about it is like, why do I need to know how much you make? Something about it is so like, I don't know, y'all. I don't like that kind of stuff. And maybe it is just like a Southern thing, but I don't like any kind of unnecessary conversation, period.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't like any kind of useless talk. It just, like, it bothers me.
That includes, like, me trying to have small talk with you as your boyfriend and future husband.
Well, like,
you annoyed as fuck if I ask you a question
example.
you find as simple.
Like, what am I eating? You see me making bacon and bread. What does it look like I make? He'll see me, like, making, like, a turkey sandwich. What are you making? I think this is a sandwich. This looks like a sandwich setup. So this looks like a sandwich. So I don't like saying stuff that's apparently obvious. In all
fairness, I don't give a fuck what you're making. For me, it's very weird to walk into a room and not acknowledge another person that is in the room with you. Especially if I live with you, I feel very strange. Like, if we're passing each other in the kitchen and I just pretend that you don't exist, that's weird to me.
I don't do that to you. It's not about not acknowledging. You could just be like, oh, that looks good, or like, oh, like, da-da-da. But they, like, don't make me say what you already know.
I didn't know what you were making. You were just cooking bacon. You could have been making bacon and eggs.
I was making bacon and eggs. There was an egg on the counter.
I didn't see it.
That's y'all. I'm not gonna get into this. It's a whole other situation. Something really bothers me, like, about, like, I feel like sometimes you just want me to, like, say stuff. I understand, like, I know you, like, want us to talk and, like, communicate, but, like, I don't want to be like, I'm making this, I'm doing this.
She gets annoyed if I'll, like, get home from work and be like, how was your day? You don't care. You don't want to know. You don't want small talk.
You know what else you do? I'm going to say, I'm cutting all this out probably. You know what else you do? Because
I think it's funny.
This has nothing to do with anything.
So?
You'll message me at 8:20 in the morning, and you're like, hi, how's your day? I'm like, bitch, I just woke up 20 minutes
I say, how are you? I've never asked, how's your day? I say, how are you?
I just woke up. I don't know. I don't even know how I am when I just woke. I still don't know.
30.
I'm like, I need to know how I am. Let me judge. Let me feel. How do I feel?
It's just saying hi. Like, I don't give a shit how you are.
Just say hi. Small talk is not my specialty, you guys, and I don't like small talk. I just like not. It makes me so uncomfortable. So then, okay, so Garcelle and Sutton move on from it's water on the bridge. Bing, bang, boom. If this comes up in a few more episodes, y'all, I'm going to be so mad. If they bring up this Sutton and Garcelle money situation, I'm going to be very upset because they seem to have closed the door on that. So if they bring it up, I'm not...
There's no... She apologized. She accepted the apology.
Here's the thing. This is the Housewives, especially Beverly Hills.
If anything, it's the cameraman bringing it back up to cause controversy.
Yeah, but it's gotta be Beverly. Beverly Hills is so, like... I love and hate Beverly Hills so much. They've given me so much, but lately, I'll say the past 6 years, I've hated Beverly Hills. So then they move on from their conversation, and then out of nowhere, Teddy goes, like, Denise. I can't even remember how she brought... she goes, I need to get this off my chest because, like, a lot of things have been said and I'm uncomfortable and I can't sit still. She says she can't breathe and she's uncomfortable. So she brings up to Denise. She's like, Denise, things have been said that we're not comfortable with. And Denise like, what the fuck is going on? And so basically they tell Denise what Brandy said, that, you know, Denise coerced her. There was no rollaway bed, and so I had to sleep in the bed with Denise, da-da-da-da. But basically, the first thing that they were focusing on was the things that they said that Denise said about them. So they claimed that Brandy claims, and Kyle and Teddy. I don't like Kyle. Anyway, they say that, Denise said this and that about us. You said Erica was a cold-hearted bitch. You said I'm living in my father's shadow. You know, you said you don't like Lisa Rinna, which is so... She didn't really give specifics into what she said about Lisa Rinna, but... So Denise was like completely like taken aback, like what the fuck are y'all even talking about? She seemed super shocked. I'm not really buying Denise's shocked acting face.
I don't know if I'm not buying Denise's shocked acting face, or as I mentioned to you, that's really creative editing. Like her responses, the timing, the reactions, there's a lot of editing there intentionally done to sway people's opinions. Mm-hmm. So I don't know whether I'm on Team Denise.
Well, I'm definitely Team Denise. You have Team Denise, or you have like Team Teddy, Kyle, Lisa, all the other bitches. It's either Team Denise or all the
I think I may abstain from teams because I think they're all kind of crazy. But I don't know how you can be... I mean, from what... Well, you'll get to in a minute from what Sutton said.
So y'all may or may not know they already filmed the reunion, which I feel like they should have waited to get fan reactions from these last couple of episodes before they filmed the reunion. But regardless, they already filmed the reunion, I think a couple of weeks ago, and Lisa Rinna already came out and said, wow, there's so many things you can't talk about when there's lawyers involved. So I feel like Denise probably put the kibosh on any kind of Brandy talk when it comes to the reunion. And I'm just like, that kind of makes me upset because I love Denise so much, and I kind of like want to protect Denise at all costs, but at the same time it's like, Denise, you did sign on to this show. You do know what this show is about. You know that they were going to get into this kind of stuff, and you know Brandy's messy as hell, so why would you even allegedly have sex with Brandy knowing who she is and like that whole kind of thing? It just like, I just feel like, I just really hope this doesn't deter.
Why would you do, even if it wasn't Brandy, why would you do anything that can get out like that when you're on a TV show that has a following like Housewives?
Well, this is how they live. They are still going to continue to live their normal lives. I mean, whether things get out or not, sometimes things don't get out.
That's not a thing. That's life wrecking. That is not a little thing.
Sometimes these things don't get out. Sometimes they don't. They sneak under the radar, and then we find out like years later. So maybe Denise thought... Here's the thing also. Denise... I'm not going to say Denise is naive, because I don't think Denise... The bitch was married to Charlie Sheen. She can't be that naive. But it's like, I think that Denise has a certain like sweetness to her to where she sees the good in everybody. Maybe she trusted Brandy. And I'm not going to lie, Brandy comes off very likable and very persuasive. And also, Brandy is also trying to weasel her way back onto the show. That's my opinion. And I just feel like that's what it was. I feel like Brandy was just trying to weasel her way back onto the show through Denise, and I think it's all a waiting game. We have to wait to see what happened. We have to wait to see, does Aaron know about it? Did he know about Denise sleeping with Brandy? Did they really sleep together? Did Denise really say those things about all the ladies? So these are all the questions that are swirling around in our minds, and I'm so happy that they are finally bringing blood and excitement back to Beverly Hills, because y'all... Blood. And excitement back to Beverly Hills. Y'all know Beverly Hills has been asleep for about 5 years, okay? people are giving Erica too much credit when they should be giving her Glam Squad
Have we
credit.
gotten to her outfit yet?
Yeah, we talked about it at the Vatican, the neck brace. Go ahead, say what you feel about her neck brace. Oh.
I mean, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, it's just frustrating that exists.
When you saw that, you were like, what is going on?
I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like,
when we get off this podcast, you guys, I'm going to show Mike.
She specifically stated that the entire reason she wore the neck brace was so that she could protect her hat.
I don't think
control your head.
I don't know,
like,
that's
do you
why
not
she said
normally
it.
have control of your head?
No, she's just wearing it for fashion.
No, that's what she said. She said it was so she could protect her hat.
I don't believe that. She slept on her neck on the new pillows in Italy, so she had to wear that new thing. That's my excuse. That's why I think it's going to. So, yeah, I'm not trying to, like, bag on Erica too much. She's fine or whatever. I love looking at Erica. I think she's so beautiful. She looks like a Barbie doll. What?
I will never get past the neck brace.
Oh, okay. Mike's not getting over the neck brace. He can't move past it, but we are moving on. How do I feel about Erica Girardi overall as a housewife? I love looking at Erica. I like looking at her fashions. Honestly, she's kind of stepped it up this season. She kind of fell back a little bit last season. She looks gorgeous. She looks porcelain, baby beautiful. I love it. But Erica as an overall housewife, I can honestly do without her. She really ain't really bringing too much, to be honest. Like, period. So that's pretty much it, y'all. So they confront Denise about it. Denise does once they really get into what they're confronting her about, they're like, Brandy said that y'all had sex. And Denise threw the bravo, fucking bravo, which I didn't even know why she was saying that at first. And then they say, like, I guess it's a secret that we don't know about It
doesn't seem to be a secret. I mean, they just ignored her and they aired it, so I think it's just in her head.
No, this has to be something that's been going on for years on the show, and we're just now finally seeing it. They have been breaking fourth walls left and right, including we're hearing producer voices, we're hearing producers ask questions. We never get to hear any of that. We never got to hear, like, producers say anything. We never got to know anything about, like, they never had any, like, off camera. They never said any of that kind of stuff. They never said anything about, like, do this. We always thought it was just, like, looking in the eye. We never heard, like, any kind of, like, we can't do this on camera. We can't, camera. I never knew. I didn't know you could say bravo, fucking bravo, and then you could, like, get it cut out.
I don't think you can, though.
Maybe she can. How does she know about it then? Then how does she know?
But what I'm saying is she said it, and
they still put it in.
Yeah, we watched her say it, so it doesn't matter.
All right, you guys, my battery is dying. We're going to quickly try to wrap up Beverly Hills. They pretty much ended it with they're trying to call out Denise, and Denise is basically saying, like, I want this cut out of the show. If they want to see me back, this will be cut out, like, da-da-da-da.
She's hiring lawyers.
Yeah, she says she has to get lawyers involved in the whole situation, so it's just amping us up. I feel like the next episode of Beverly Hills is going to be super spicy. I hope you guys join me for that journey. I hope you guys enjoyed me and Mike talking about Beverly Hills and New York. Please tell me in the comments down below or put it in the reviews. What is your favorite Housewives franchise and why? And please let me know any other franchises or TV shows that you would like me and Mike to review together. We would really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to my first episode of Now We've Said It. I really hope you like it. If you did, please let me know. I need any and all feedback. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much for listening to Now We've Said It, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.